This is the fight that's going to be remembered for a while.
The biggest mistake that Mario Bautista think about me, that I'm a weak. I'm a different style, different human.
Winning this fight proves that I deserve to be in the spot that I am. Vinicius is going to find out what it's like to fight a top 10 fighter.
There it is. Oh, there's the quick. Wow.
Well, the soundtrack does not describe how this man fights, but maybe it describes how calm he is entering a new level of his career. It has not taken him long to get to the bright lights of a UFC main event, less than 2 years on the UFC roster, but when you're riding a 6-fight win streak, when you put together several different bonus earning performances, you're gonna become a signal through the noise in this very crowded bantamweight division. Paul, Vinicius Oliveira, he's got swagger, he's got star potential, and he believes tonight he will drop some jaws by anybody who's not familiar with the type of violence that he brings to the octagon.
When I found out that this was going to be the first main event here back, for a fight night in the Meta Apex, and that I'd be calling it, I've called Oliveira's fights. I've gotten to break this guy down and watch him this close to the octagon, and he brings it every single time. Unorthodox, so much fun to watch, so dangerous, and yet he's been to decisions. Now, granted, they're exciting decisions, but this is a guy that's proven that it doesn't have to be some flashy big-time knockout. He can go out there, he can grind out decisions. He does not take his foot off the gas when he's inside of that octagon. His hands will not be up covering his chin. They will be down by his hips. He will be throwing for the fences. He will be throwing kicks. And when I broke down some of the highlighters that we had to break down for this guy, he threw like a back behind his back.
A Ramona kick.
And kicked the calf. And then a head kick behind him.
It's crazy.
He's wild, Laura.
He really is. I'll be honest, I've been waiting for the beat to drop for like the last 3 minutes, but he really is just walking out to Beethoven's for Elise. Great song, by the way. This guy is such a wild card when you watch him fight, and he's got a very certain flavor of charisma as a person as well. I was dying to ask him in fighter meetings how much he actually thinks about his strategy going into a fight, because when you watch him fight, it kind of feels like he's just out there flowing, and I thought, well, maybe he really thinks about it. Turns out he doesn't. He said, my strategy...
You were right.
I was right. He said, my strategy is just to win. But he has done so much mental work over his lifetime, wakes up every day, meditates, does,
looks in the mirror
and does these positive affirmations. And he said that that is the key to his success.
Next up. Jamil, 25.
There is a lot more to Nevada than the glowing lights of Las Vegas. Mario Bautista, what a journey. From a small town, Winnemucca, 2 hours outside of Reno. A high school wrestler who fell in love with mixed martial arts, and now this small town kid has turned into big city dreams, and he makes his UFC main event walk here and now in Las Vegas. He says, if you want something enough, you'll find the resources to do it. I was in a small town, he learned jiu-jitsu, I did what it took. The resources weren't there to be a pro fighter at the top level. Moved to Arizona, linked up with John Crouch, the incredible team at the MMA Lab, and now he is a mainstay among the top 10 bantamweight contenders. That says a lot, but he's done a whole lot of winning in the UFC as well, and he plans to turn back toward the top tonight.
Yeah, won 8 of his last 9 fights, and some of those wins came against the stiffest competition possible. A legend in Jose Aldo, a guy with all the hype behind him at the moment, Patchy Mix. And then last time out, taking on what many people believe is the best, if not the second best, a bantamweight in the entire division, Umar Nurmagomedov. And he did not come away with the victory, but he definitely came away understanding just how close he is to being able to thrive at the very, very top of this division. This is a guy who could do it all. He's so technical, Paul, on the feet. His footwork, his pressure, his angle. He's so intelligent about everything that he does, but the guy can wrestle too. The guy can grapple his butt off.
Yeah, he can grapple, he can submit you, and it's just crazy to look back at his debut against none other than Corey Sandhagen. Is how he entered into the UFC in his first fight. And then, you know, went back and forth for a little bit, and then went on that massive, massive win streak. This kid can do it all. This fight's gonna be a lot of fun. I can't wait to see how it shakes out.
A top 10 ranking is at stake at 135 pounds. Here's the tale to take for the headliner tonight between Mario Bautista and Vinicius Oliveira. Bautista 2 years older than the Brazilian, both athletes 5 feet 9 inches tall, small edge and reach to the small betting underdog from Brazil. Here's Joe Martinez.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the moment we've all been waiting for is now!
This is Paulo Costa to 99.
Live from the Meta Apex here in the fight capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the main event of the evening. 5 rounds scheduled this in the UFC Bantamweight division. It is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Executive Director Jeff Mullen, with Chairman Dallas Hall. The 3 judges scoring at octagon side, Mike Bell, Sal D'Amato, and Chris Lee. And inside the octagon, your referee in charge of the action, Dave. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the judges are ready, the fighters are ready, the world is ready. Las Vegas, make some noise, and you are ready! Introducing the first, fighting out of the blue corner. This mixed martial artist is 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in at the bantamweight limit 136 pounds and holds a professional record of 23 victories. With 3 defeats, he fights out of Lomba do Pinheiro, Rio Grande do Sul, Brazil. Here is Vinicius Oliveira! And across the octagon, in the red corner, his opponent. A freestyle fighter standing 5 feet 9 inches tall. He weighed in officially 135.5 pounds, and in 19 fights, holds a record of 16 victories. With 3 defeats, he is the UFC's #9 ranked bantamweight contender of the world from Phoenix, Arizona. Here is Mario Bautista!
All right, gentlemen, we've been over the rules. Protect yourself at all times. Follow my instructions. We're going to have a clean fight. Touch gloves if you wish. Let's do it.
Well, just a glimpse of the confidence that Vinicius Oliveira has been carrying with him all fight week long.
I would love Bautista.
And if you think the moment might be too big for him, guess again. He says, I've been visualizing this for years. Now it's finally here. 5 rounds if needed between Vinicius Oliveira in the black and Mario Bautista in the blue.
Number 2. Who we got here? Tatiana Suarez to 99, 14 on Brent. 14 on Brent, Tatiana Suarez.
Technical and composed can describe the game plan of Bautista. Rash and chance-taking Vinicius Oliveira is quite the opposite.
Good tactic there for Vinicius Oliveira.
I'm interested to see who wins the geography battle early here. Bautista taking the center. Both of these guys prefer to pressure forwards, but they do it in very different ways.
Tell you about Brandon. Next up. Christian Dunn. Duncan, look at that beautiful rookie auto royalty.
I consider both of these guys pretty big for the bantamweight division. Vinicius is pretty massive.
Well, he's acknowledged, I don't know how long I am for the 135-pound division. He says he wants the title in 2026 or a title shot in 2026. Obviously, there's a lot that needs to happen for that to come to fruition, but believes he'll experience the higher weight classes in the UFC.
I'm a little surprised that Oliveira is pressing the wrestling as much early on as he is right now. I mean, I know we're only about a minute and a half into this fight, but still.
And, you know, something that you brought up in the fighter meetings, Paul, Oliveira's not had a ton of 5-round experience. And he's not a guy that fights like he's, you know, meant to go 5 rounds either. So it might be part of the strategy for him early on to be a little bit more contained in terms of his approach.
Yeah, he's trying hard, though, for this takedown. Now he's in on a single here. And I heard John Crouch from Bautista's corner saying, we love this. The fact that he's engaging him this much. I mean, Bautista's a guy that I feel is always in phenomenal shape. He's a bit of a grinder and doesn't mind having this kind of in-your-face, grappling, heavy approach.
Next up.
Mario landed some nice shots with the foreknuckles there, trying to really dig them in. And now he's pressing for the takedown and gets it. Beautiful wrestling from Bautista. This is what he wants, settle on top. Take his time here. Don't rush the strikes. Get to a point where you're not going to get swept, because you see that butterfly hook from Vinicius.
Yeah, Vinicius trying to come underneath here and look to attack a leg.
And you see Mario trying to clear that right leg of Vinicius. Good job there from Bautista. Fought off that leg lock. And look at just applying a ton of pressure. He's got to try to clear his arms. He doesn't want Vinicius to be able to sweep him. But again, now he's leveling it. He's kind of applying that pressure, settling in on top. Using his head, maybe try to clear one of these arms, start looking for elbows. There it is.
Yep.
All right, next up.
Oh, man.
Windmill of a right hand off the mark from Bautista.
Looks for an axe kick.
99-44 on
right back into the butterfly guard of Oliveira.
Nice. I mean, this is Bautista's world right here, where he can just settle in, keep grappling, look for these big shots from the top.
Gotta try to get past the legs of Oliveira.
And he is throwing heavy with that right hand when he's looking for that shot. Does have to watch these up kicks. Doing a good job, though, of clearing past the legs so far.
I'm a little surprised not to see Oliveira looking to get up, to be honest with you. Really seems to be content to welcome Bautista into his guard here.
I haven't seen Rob.
There's the horn, no breaks for the duration of this main event.
Respira 3, dá de 1 a 10.
Breathe, 1, 2, 3.
Então respira.
How you feeling?
Volta.
Mouth is dry. Let's get back here.
Olha só, quando tu jogou o joelho ali,
listen, when you put that knee in there, he was too slow and he got your leg. Let's put him against the fence and let's just get out of that. Listen, you're stronger than him, okay? Patience right now. Now it's time for some breathing. You're stronger than him in the strikes. I don't want nothing on the ground.
Be heavier on the butterfly when we're on the ground. Like you're lifting up a little bit. Sit down, pass to the side, make it more.
Hey, every time we pressured him, he's level changed, okay? Like he's ready for us to wrestle. Let's start to throw the punches. Let's look for our knee, okay? Let's look for our knee. Let's attack the calf and look for the knee this round.
Let's use our feints.
box number 3. Appreciate you, Faye. Right,
Second
guys.
round upcoming of the headliner. Pretty strong start for Mario Bautista. Using that big edge and experience. 14th UFC appearance for Bautista, who entered the UFC back in 2019.
All right, guys. Good luck.
For Vinicius Oliveira, he won his way on Dana White's Contender Series in 2023. And has enjoyed 4 straight wins in the octagon. Leg kick there to start the action of round 2.
He was grabbing his wrist funny, too, in between rounds.
Yeah.
That with his corner.
I think it was his right wrist that he was pointing to, and had it wrapped earlier in the week as well. I don't know the story behind that, but it does make one wonder.
He had more urgency to return to his feet there after the early takedown for Bautista, who's now got 2 takedowns.
Number 6.
And using the fence to keep it in the grappling department right now.
That was a beautiful trip.
One hook in for Bautista, who rides on the backpack.
He's got the ability, if he can get around, get that right leg, and he gives up on it. Not trying to waste any energy right now. Again, 5-round fight. Nice takedown there for Bautista again. Again gets 1 hook in. But Oliveira using that fence to prevent Bautista from being able to get both hooks in. But still, this is the pace and the type of fight that Bautista wants here with Oliveira.
Tried to dip and wrap a double leg unsuccessfully.
All right, next up. RPA.
Oh, counter left from Oliveira.
There you go.
Oliveira just looks winded a little bit.
He was sitting down on the canvas in between rounds until they brought the stool in.
Next up.
Yeah, he looks sluggish already. Not a good sign.
Bautista dips under the attack.
Bautista looking to trap him up against the fence again here.
Wow, look at that sweep.
Wow, right away. Wastes no time whatsoever.
3 on print. Nice run.
Kind of pass, avoids that triangle attempt from Oliveira.
Next up, it is Weston Wilson, RPA to 25.
Bautista throwing those legs by, trying to pass fully into side control.
Yeah, I don't think he even wants that. I think this is where he wants to sit, right on that leg of Oliveira, sit in his half guard. Trying to trap that right arm of Oliveira.
To 99, 6-7 on print. Jail time.
Coming up next, don't miss a recap of all the action on the UFC Fight Night post show on Paramount Plus. Megan O'Leary is alongside Robert Whitaker, Michael Chiesa, and Anthony Smith. They break down tonight's action, plus Mackenzie Pavicic has interviews with the big winners. It's all coming up next on Paramount Plus.
Next up, we have Matsumoto. Hey, man. Back to back. What's the odds of that?
Now Bautista working from the full guard of Oliveira, coming up on a minute to go in round 2, as you see within 4 minutes of top position.
Landed some nasty elbows here.
All right, next up, who we got here? 10 out of 10.
Right back in. Oh, nicely done. Uses that left leg to put down.
Now he's right into crucifix.
But Jeffrey Molina, 10 out of 10.
Oh, this is
trouble.
30 seconds to work with dominant position. Uncorks some elbows, does Bautista.
It still keeps it. Now he's looking for a Kimura.
Oliveira in a world of trouble here.
Uses it to take the back.
Oh, what is that?
unbelievable performance from Mario Bautista.
That last series of transitions was so sick.
Yeah, I mean,
And
you want to talk about just
was
slick, so fast. I mean, that's immediately that arm was behind the head and squeezing.
I want to take another look at that because I mean it was so beautiful. Bautista just an ace on the ground. Watch here. Oliveira's going to catch this leg, and then they start to kind of get into this scramble here. Oliveira looks to get the trick, but then Bautista with his beautiful sweep gets on top. Oliveira, he's pounding away from this crucifix position, which just forces the urgency out of Oliveira, who bucks and tries to create some space, spins in. Oliveira uses it to take the back, and then, I mean, watch this. Look how fast he cinches up that rear naked choke. That was nasty.
Well, coming into tonight, his last 3 finishes were by submission. The last one coming in 2023, but Bautista getting it done with style points in the headliner will cap off the night after a quick 30-second break.
Now let's see what's in there. Now let's see what's in it.
My center, my soul is gone.
Last box of the case.
You will hail if you let yourself.
That's an Indian.
Native American.
What do I have before I'm too old to do anything more than just remember?
I decided to feed this and never factor this into the equation.
About now, $2.99. 97 on Trent for Berman.
All that's left is to make this one official. Here's Joe Martinez.
Ladies and gentlemen, the rear naked choke submission comes officially. 4 minutes, 46 seconds of round number 2 for your winner, Mario Bautista!
I'm here with the winner, Mario Bautista. Mario, first main event, you come in here, you looked unbelievable. The grappling was on point. Were you surprised that it was Vinicius who tried to initiate those grappling exchanges early, but you took over quick?
Yeah, a little bit. I think he's seen my previous fight and maybe thought that was a hole of mine, but I met the top of that level, and it rubbed off on me tonight, and I was able to use my wrestling to get the job done.
Let's take a look. I mean, hopefully we can take a look at the finish here because you swept him beautifully, got that crucifix almost immediately, landed vicious elbows, and then the way that you transitioned seamlessly. Take a look at this. Talk me through it.
That's John Krause Jiu-Jitsu right there. You know, I never want to be on bottom again. I did not like that. My last fight made some changes. That sweep was beautiful. That crucifix, man, that's awesome. I think I did a nice little transition here into the back. I was looking for that Kimura, but it gave me the back instead. Got that rear naked, got back to my finishing ways. So.
And as soon as you got the squeeze on that, he was tapping right away. Were you surprised at how fast he was tapping to that rear naked choke?
A little bit, but it was locked in. I had that fully locked in, and he wasn't going anywhere.
Now, Mario, you defend your spot in the top 10. You talked about making just subtle changes when you fought Umar, and how after you did that, you know that you belong here amongst the elite and that you're going to move forward. Is there anything you want next or anyone that you want next?
I want to get back into the top 5, and I think the next person, Corey Sandhagen. Give me that rematch. You're in the way to the title for me. I need that rematch. Let's get it done.
Absolutely unbelievable performance, Mario. Congratulations on the first main event. Give it up for Mario Bautista.
Man, called tonight an amazing opportunity to go toe-to-toe with Umar Nurmagomedov in his last bout, but he fell forward. He said he made some adjustments. He felt what the top level was like and that he was right there. A few small adjustments and he could be right back on a chase for the championship belt, and he is indeed that in 2026. Here's what's coming up in the octagon. You'll have to figure out something to do next Saturday, but after that, we're blitzing you again. Houston, Texas on February 21st with Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez. Then we're down to Mexico City where Lonnie Kavanaugh steps up to take on the hero in his home country, Brandon Moreno. It all leads to the BMF Championship between Max Holloway and Charles Oliveira, a rematch of their bout years ago. A lot more at stake this time around at UFC 326, 1 month from tonight. Well, we had some action as we broke into Meta Apex for the first UFC Fight Night on Paramount+. Dustin Jacoby with a big win and a big call to play some golf with President Trump and a date at the White House. Farrad Basharat outlasts John Matsumoto. He is still undefeated. We knew the action would come in bunches between Mikhail Olechejchuk and Marc-Andre Barriault. It is the Polish fighter who extends his win streak. Some NFL stars were in the house tonight to witness the co-main event, and Kyoji Horiguchi's continued rise among the flyweights. And Mario Bautista, impressive in his headliner. Post show's next for Lauren, Paul, Brendan Fitz, saying goodnight from Las Vegas.
We're on box 5. We're on to box 5, and we are auctioning off.
Well, once again, Las Vegas, Nevada had a night full of great fight action. Our first UFC Fight Night on Paramount Plus has just wrapped up in the entertainment capital of the world, and we are ready to break it all down for you.
10 seconds. All right. No Raphael yet. That's it so far.
Well, there's tonight's big winner, Mario Bautista. Our main event capped off the night, and that was a fun one for as long as it lasted. He earned the hand raise by rear naked choke in round number 2. Such a fun fight. We're going to hear from Mario in just moments. Welcome inside the studio. I'm Megan O'Leary alongside Michael Chiesa, Robert Whitaker, and Anthony Smith. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. You were cheering, literally on your feet, cheering about those grappling exchanges. Mike, I know you loved that main event.
We just knew this was going to be a very, very high-level fight. I just didn't like the transitions we saw from Bautista. I'm still in awe. I mean, it was literally poetry in motion. I mean, just beautiful groundwork from Mario Bautista. We know how good of a striker he is, but to see how much the leaps and strides he's made in his grappling to complement his striking skills, I mean, he's the complete package.
I can't help but feel that he really went out there to show Oliveira what the levels are. Like he just seemed 7 steps ahead in the punching, in the boxing, fading away, working in the takedowns that we spoke about earlier. And then once he was on the bottom, once he was on the ground, it was just night and day. He was moving all over the place, transitioning beautifully, and honestly, it was amazing to watch.
Yeah, that was a picture-perfect example of there's levels to this game. He looked like there was a much larger gap between them than just 2 spots in the rankings. It was essentially one-way traffic. It looked like he kind of did whatever he wanted. He started a little bit slow, like he was trying to feel it out a little bit. Once the second round started, Oliveira looked exhausted, and he just put his foot on the gas.
Yeah, it was a great main event, and our commentary crew had the best seats in the house. They were octagon side for it. Guys, tell me what you thought about it.
Well, thanks very much, Megan. Yeah, what a performance from Mario Bautista, who acknowledged the challenge of when he was on that long winning streak. It's tough to change things and really grow because it's all working for you. Now, he had the setback, he made the adjustments, he knows what it takes to march forward, and he certainly looked the part tonight, Laura.
When you come away from a loss like he did against Umar Nurmagomedov, and then you go out there and do that against a guy as dangerous as Vinicius Oliveira, I mean, Mario Bautista is absolutely a factor at the top of this division. Has been, will be for a very long time. I really expected a very different fight, if I'm being honest with you. I thought these two were going to bang it out on the feet. It was going to be a war of pressure versus pressure. It went to the grappling, and Mario Bautista just showcased what a phenomenal wrestler and submission artist he is.
Yeah, I think his jiu-jitsu is what really stood out to me. I mean, holy crap, the transitions, the control, the sweep, immediately taking the back. I mean, Oliveira had him dead to the rights, getting a big takedown, immediately reverses it, gets that crucifix, thought it was over there, wasn't over there, immediately gets to the back, sinks in that rear naked choke. I love the call out of trying to get that fight back with Corey Sandhagen. The first fight he had in the UFC, a loss, and then, you know, goes on this huge win streak, loses one to Umar, and that's how you bounce back when you're fighting somebody slightly down in the rankings. You defend your spot, and you make it look dominant like that. Took control the whole entire fight. I expected Bautista to wrestle. I didn't expect Vinicius to try to engage in that first, and he paid for it.
Yeah. Winner of 9 of his last 10 now for Mario Bautista, and his last 4 wins inside the distance have been by submission. I was going to say that too, Paul. Strategic call out of Corey Sandhagen. In the co-main event, Kyoji Horiguchi. He's calling for a championship opportunity in 2026, and he just may get it. He looked great against Amir Albazi in the co-headline.
Did he ever? I mean, what really stuck out to me, you got to remind yourself, as good as he looked tonight, almost making Amir Albazi not look on the same level. Amir Albazi has only ever lost to Brandon Moreno. That's how good Amir Albazi was, and yet Kyoji Horiguchi just went out there and dominated him. And Amir Albazi could not find him, could not keep up with him, could not wrestle him. He really just got completely shut out in that fight, Paul.
And I love how dominant that performance is from Horiguchi. And the first thing he says is, that fight was so-so. That wasn't that great. And listen, this is a guy who fought for the title in the UFC, left, went to another organization, has retained belts, got belts, defended them, fought some of the best guys in the world, comes back, looks unbelievable in his return to the UFC, then takes on somebody Albazi, who's looked fantastic in his career, has had some setbacks, has had some injuries, but goes out there and makes it look easy. I mean, he floats around in that octagon. And I think making that call out saying, listen, I want the belt. I don't care where Horiguchi's ranking is in the UFC. When you've got a guy that's been there before, who comes in and looks as good as he is, that's the call out that you make.
And how about the storylines in those two weight classes? There's a new champion at the end of 25 at flyweight. There's a new champion at 135. A lot of fresh matchups, and we saw some big names tonight show out. Will be interesting to see there 2026. Megan, back to you.
Thank you so much, Brendan. We appreciate it. We love the insight. Go get some rest, guys. But Mike, we've got to start with you. You're the grappler at this table. I know you want to talk about the main event. In terms of the wrestling that we saw from Mario Bautista, and then of course the submission, I mean, what impressed you the most, because it was all so great?
I just love how he was able to take advantage of the fact that he had the freedom to throw kicks again. He was limited from being able to do that in the Umar Nurmagomedov fight, so he didn't feel the threat of the takedown too much from Oliveira. While we've seen Oliveira be able to take down guys like Said Nurmagomedov, but it was the mat returns, and it was Mario Bautista doing a good job of not settling into any position with the wrestling and the grappling. The second that he would get to the corner, he'd pop his hips and get his mat returns. The second he would find an opening to pass, he would jump on it. He didn't hesitate on this transition to go from that Kimura grip into this back take. Zero hesitation from Mario Bautista. It was all gas, no brakes, and like I said, the freedom to be able to throw kicks just unlocks his game. Because anytime Oliveira initiated in the wrestling and the grappling, it just complemented Mario Bautista's game plan. But it was surgical, it was great. And the other thing I want to mention is Mario Bautista looked in like the best physical shape I've seen him in. He always looks, he pretty cut up and pretty shredded, but he looks like he went through a very long, very strenuous camp.
Another level.
He was not gassed sitting on the stool. He wasn't even breathing hard.
He actually talked about making dietary changes as well for this camp, so it seems like that could play a role in that physique that we see.
He looked in phenomenal shape. Like everyone could see the veins on his veins. But honestly, I think Laura said it best. Like sometimes a loss frees you up. When you're winning, you don't want to change things up because they're working. You're afraid to change things up, and he looked overwhelming. Free. He was, as you said, brought back in the kicks, mixing in the takedowns, fading away, disappearing after the shots, not letting Vicinius get anywhere near where he wanted to be. And then, as you said, he was on the gas the whole time. He was attacking every position. He was transitioning well. He didn't sit and hold and wait at any moment. And it just paid complete dividends. Vicinius could not keep up.
Watching him fight, I thought of something that a coach told me years and years ago. He said, really good fighters will stop what you want to do. Great fighters will let you do whatever you want and just deal with it as it comes and kind of flow their way through it. That's kind of how I felt watching him fight. Yeah, he threw the kick and he caught it. So instead of not throwing the kick, he just deals with it once he catches it. You get taken down. You can really fight the takedown. Or if you're on your way down, you just figure out how to find yourself into a sweep right away. He was chasing the back. He kind of has the Kimura grip. Instead of really battling that and gassing himself trying to finish it, he just transitions to the back. He just kind of was in that flow the entire time, and those are the most dangerous people and the hardest people in the world to fight.
Mario Bautista.
What did you think about the pace he was setting, Anthony, and just what we could have seen over 25 rounds, but he really did not take a single breath.
No, and he didn't back off at all, even a little bit. It reminded me a little bit of how Horiguchi fights, too. If you just keep constant pressure on someone the entire time, you feel like you're drowning, like you're getting drug out into the ocean, and you're just constantly trying to keep your head above water. That's how Oliveira looked. He looked like he didn't get like he wanted to just take a second, breathe, reset, and keep going, and he never let him do that. He was constantly on him the whole time.
We saw when Mario was on his back, he wasn't breathing. He was just chilling there.
Yeah.
And I've been on the mats with guys that are relentlessly moving, transitioning into new positions, like attacking constantly, and it is exhausting. It's exactly as you said. You feel like you're drowning. That's the only time I've ever felt like the deep waters comment makes sense, is when you're constantly fighting submissions, constantly fighting positions, because he's hurting you everywhere. You put him in that crucifix, and that was mean.
Yeah, that was really mean.
That was a mean crucifix.
And he did exactly what Laura said, but just kind of to the opposite point, where she said she thought it was going to be kind of a war. These guys were going to go pressure for pressure. Well, Mario brought the pressure, but he was just smart too. He fought a smart fight. He matched the pressure with the wrestling. You know you're going to get big forward movements from Oliveira, and instead of engaging in those movements by striking with him, just change levels and go underneath for very easy, very efficient takedowns. When somebody makes big motions going forward and you have wrestling within your arsenal, those takedowns are very economical. So while Mario fought at a high pace, I know he could sustain it because everything he's doing was economical. He was using Oliveira's pressure against him in a very surgical manner. If I was to pick a word to sum up this fight, it would be surgical. It was a surgical performance from Mario Bautista.
Yeah, and it was fun to watch
Oh,
as
it was
well.
incredible.
Well, actually, Mario Bautista is on his way into the studio. I think he's going to chat with us in just a couple of moments. But until then, Anthony, you want to talk about this co-main event? Because I know you were impressed by Kyoji Horiguchi.
Oh, it was so nostalgic sitting out there and watching them fight. I feel like we have to make sure we enjoy these moments while they're still here and not wait until these guys are gone. And he was just ahead of him the entire time. And, you know, the way Paul said, he kind of floated around the octagon the whole time. That's kind of what I seen. It just seemed like Albazi was having a really tough time dealing with the speed and the management of Horiguchi. He's so fast. And I don't know that there's anybody in the division that's going to be able to match his speed. They're going to have to figure out whether it's timing, whether it's slowing him down with the grappling and the wrestling. But he is a big problem in this division just because of his speed, and he's so well-rounded. There's no real holes in his game. I thought Albazi was going to have an easier time getting to some of those takedowns, and I thought Horiguchi would have to be maybe on his bike a little more and avoiding those takedowns, but he kind of just shut him out in every facet of the entire game. I thought Horiguchi looked really good. I did find myself thinking, I think he can be much better with a different opponent. I think Albazi just is a stylistic matchup that does give him some problems, but I think overall I thought he looked really good. But I liked hearing him say it was okay, it could have been better, because I thought the same thing. I think he could do better against higher ranked guys just based on the style.
I thought he was amazing. And as you said, he is a problem that people are going to have to work out, because his skill set is so diverse and so high level that you can't really push the fight in any one way. But the biggest problem is that he has that skill set with the speed that he has. He was beating Albazi to every punch, and that's whether he wanted to crash, that's whether he wanted to feint, that's whether he wanted to go in first or come out last or fade away. Anytime, counter hook, any punch he was throwing, any attack he was throwing, he was beaten to. And it was amazing. He set up the entire fight like that. It felt like he led the dance. He knew the ending before it started. It was beautiful.
I wish I could do a demo right now, because what he did so well in this fight, I wish I could get up and show. Obviously, I couldn't do it as well. I couldn't do it as well.
Go ahead, do it, Mike.
Okay,
show me how Horiguchi fights.
So if I have Anthony come over here real quick, okay? This is completely unscripted.
Is Anthony Albazi?
Bless our producers. Great
for
work.
me, as Kyoji Horiguchi, he did such a good job masking his level change in his left hook. If you watch, he would dip, and every time Albazi's hands would come down, he did this lead hook that always came down in a very awkward angle. And just when you would think that Amir Albazi's picking up on the left hook, no, he would drop down on a shot. So he did a good job using that level change to blend the takedown attempts with the takedown threat, and he kept throwing that clubbing overhand lead left hook. That was his best punch of the fight. Thank you for being a good.
You're welcome.
Thank you for being a good demo buddy for me.
I love it so much. Well, Michael was pretending to be Horiguchi, but Mackenzie Pavicic was actually speaking with him backstage. Let's throw to her and the Horiguchi.
Thanks so much, you guys. Well, Kyoji, you said that it wasn't the best performance, but from our point of view, it felt like a masterclass. So why the criticism for yourself?
Because, I can get finished, that's why. I wanna, finish
1 out of 5.
anybody, that's why, yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense. Amir Albazi, a very tough opponent. What was it that surprised you most about this matchup?
Man, that's sweet.
アルバジはですね、非常にタフな選手だったんですけれども、何か驚いたことってありましたか？
まあ、やっぱタフだったことですかね。はい。
As expected, he was tough.
Saw a lot of toughness, a lot of beautiful striking from you, though. It seemed that you were just one step ahead the whole fight. What was the game plan in order to come away with the victory for this one?
Absolutely. Next up.
非常にタフな試合だったということで、そうですね、ゲームプラン。
Game plan was just mix up everything. Striking, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, everything mix up. But he come striking, so why no? I'm doing that, you know. Yeah, I love that, you know. That's why.
Makes a whole lot of sense. And you are very open about your goals of becoming champion. Now, one step closer to that. Where do you hope to sit in the division come Tuesday?
I'm not sure because I get little injury, so maybe I fix this one, then I want to get title shot. Yeah, yeah.
Well, your win streak is the second longest active one in the division. You sit only behind the champion, so I think it makes a lot of sense to inch yourself a little bit closer with this one. You did mention an injury, but when do you think we can expect to see you back?
I don't know, maybe months, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
A month? You have a break.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, where what's doctor say? You know, I wanna go doctor. Yeah.
Okay, fair. I think the division will be holding its breath though until it finds out when you will be returning, Kyoji. Congratulations. Thank you so much. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Mackenzie, thank you so much. Make it 7 in a row for Kyoji Horiguchi. But we are now joined by our main event winner, Mario Bautista. What an impressive performance. I love that you said you enjoy watching Kyoji Horiguchi fight. That was so cool to have that moment with you. But we've got to talk about your performance. These guys are going to break down the fight with you. I'm curious, though, as you made the walk, I know that you were looking to get back into the win column. Did things feel different at all for you backstage, heading to the octagon in terms of your mentality for this one? Because you looked like a man possessed.
Yeah, I mean, still had the same game plan to go in there and fight, do my best, but it did have a different feel to it as far as it being the main event. You know, I felt like everyone was here to watch me, you know, and they were, you know. So it had a different feel to it, and it was just exciting as the dream come true.
You know, I got to ask you, man, first and foremost, congratulations. That was an incredible performance. You know, you come back here, you bounce back in a big main event slot after the Umar Nurmagomedov fight. What changes did you make in preparation for this fight? Obviously, it's a different stylistic matchup compared to Umar, but what was the takeaway from the Umar fight, and what changes did you apply for your preparation for this fight with Oliveira?
Not so much in training and what I do, it's just more of the little things outside of life, in between training, just getting that 1% better. Because to me, that's what it seemed like in that Umar fight. He was just a few steps ahead of me, so I felt that's what I needed to make change in my everyday life and in camp, you know, to get this, to go back into the top.
Next up.
You know, and I also wanted to ask you as well. Look, you always show up in very, very good shape. And you talk about the 1% things you do outside of camp. Were those things that had to do with your strength, your conditioning, your diet? Because tonight, you didn't even look like you were even remotely close to out of breath after round one. You seem to be in good shape. You look in phenomenal shape. Like, was this a part of those changes that you had to make?
Yeah, definitely starting the diet early, just being more on point with what I intake into my body. And actually, we reeled it back on the strength conditioning a little bit and kind of pumped up more of the sparring rounds. So those are the changes I made.
21 on
there we go. They're all complimenting your physique.
I can't wait to see him start drinking some Coke. He's getting some sugars in his veins. He's going to puff out. I have to ask you, while you're here, if a lot of people say that after a loss, it frees them up, especially after the wins you were racking up. Okay, you had a massive win streak. So to have that freedom to change things up, did you feel free? It looks like there was a weight off your shoulder, like you could utilize your entire skill set out there.
Yeah, definitely gives you that freedom once you lose. You know, like you said, 8-fight win streak. You don't want to change anything, but then coming off a loss, you have that freedom to do so. And then also just walking out there. I mean, I just was thinking, just go out there and have fun. You know, wherever this goes, you have all these tools. You've been in there with the best. You have all this experience. There's nowhere he could take me like where I'm not comfortable. So
100%.
I had that mindset going in.
So like during fight week, I feel like we always have to be humble, and we don't want to. You don't want to come off cocky or arrogant. You don't want to jinx yourself by saying certain things, so you just kind of keep it internalized. Did you feel like, now that it's over, did you feel like there was a chance that this could be really easy and you could kind of get out of it fairly unscathed like you did?
No, that's hard, you know. That's hard to have that mentality. You know, you check out his highlight. You know, he's knocking people out, and I don't want to be on that other end. So I took it very serious. You know, I tried a nap today, just thinking about Vinicius, so I couldn't. You know, so I took it very serious. So yeah, and that's what happens. I got a second round finish.
Last
What
box
about
of
the
the
new
break.
Apex? What about the new Apex? How'd the crowd help you?
Oh my God, it was awesome. Because I've been here when it was completely empty. Right?
Yeah.
Each time I came back, a little bit more, and now to see it just
Few
like
extra
this.
people, few extra people.
It was awesome. It was amazing. It was a great venue now.
You know, and I wanted to ask you as well, talking about Oliveira, you know, a lot of us kind of expected it was going to be the pressure striking and the pressure striking. You guys are going to kind of meet just two bulls locking horns in the center of the octagon. Was it the plan the whole time to match his pressure, but just change levels, get those takedowns? Because when you level changed under his forward motion, those takedowns were very economical, very efficient for you. Was that the game plan in this fight, is to just match his pressure, but to get underneath the guard and shoot those takedowns?
Yeah, definitely match it with the wrestling. You know, I wasn't going to go out there and slug it out with him. But I was kind of surprised he actually initiated, I think, the wrestling, you know, pushed me against the cage. And I wasn't going to let him go from there. So I think he kind of wore himself out a little bit, or set up my game plan.
Mario, I just got some news in my ear.
$10.99, it's on us.
There we go.
$10.99.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man.
What are you buying?
I'm buying everyone burgers. Let's go.
All right, let's go.
It's a cherry on top.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super grateful. That's awesome.
Next up.
Man, it just feels so great to come off a loss, getting a win, main event, and get the bonus.
20 on Brent.
I can't wait to go celebrate with my family, man.
It's very cool to see your teammates and loved ones that are behind the cameras that you guys can't see on your screens right now, but they gave such a big smile when we just said you earned the bonus, so I'm sure they're so excited for you. But Mario, we never let you just dwell in your victory that long. Let's talk about what's next. Here's how it looks in the top 10 of the bantamweight division right now. Tell me, you get to play matchmaker, you get to play who and when. Who is it?
Ideally, I would like Corey Sandhagen. I think that makes for such a great story. You know, I lost my debut to him, and for me to chase him all the way back into the top 10, top 5, that'd be awesome. But maybe if I want like a little bit of an easier fight, maybe it's a hobby. I think that'd be a great one too.
That's a good fight.
So either way, I think either would be fun.
Is the Sandhagen fight, is that one that's bothered you? Or is it just now you found yourself in a situation where, like, okay, we can go get that one back? Or is that one you think about a lot?
I do, because I took it on a week's notice,
Right.
And I don't know. Like I said, my first pro loss, UFC debut loss, and I've chased him all the way down. That rarely happens, I think. You don't see that too often. So
when some hurt more than others. Some hurt more than others.
Yeah, I think I lost in the first round. I got completely wiped out. But yeah, I like to see it now.
Well, let's end this on a high note because, once again, you were in the main event. You got your hand raised. You earned a bonus. There's so much to celebrate, Mario. Is there any sort of timeline? Would you like to be more active in 2026?
Uncle Chael.
I'd like to take a little bit of a break. I just fought in October, now today. So maybe around summertime, I'd like to get back in there.
Listen, we're going to watch whenever and whoever you face. Congratulations. Go celebrate with all these guys. I know they're looking forward to it. Enjoy the burgers. We appreciate it.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
All right, well, the Hanyak also got it done today in impressive fashion, earning his 15th career knockout, sitting Julius Walker down in the second round. Make that 3 in a row for light heavyweights Dustin Jacoby. The post-show is just getting started from inside the Meta Apex. Stick around right here on Paramount Plus for more highlights, fight insight, interviews, and more. We will see you on the other side of the break.
Not again.
So how did these strangers, a random collection of guys, end up fast friends? They were +1s to a high school reunion. Not fun. But then someone pulled out the BetMGM app. Who do you got? That's all it took.
Platinum
Game's on
101
downstairs.
duel.
They bonded over betting stories before even learning each other's names. And when their bet hit, turns out this reunion wasn't so bad. Make it a bet that turns into a bond. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
Dan Ige. Precedent.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Hit one of these yesterday to 10.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
There you go, Zane.
You see the drip, yeah, I'm fitted up. Hop in my car and I get it up. Secure the bag, yeah, I get the bus.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up. Oh my goodness. This royalty's been crazy. All right. right, here we go.
Welcome back to the post-fight show here in Las Vegas. Becoming a Fighter is back. I sat down with our guy, Daniel Cormier, to see how a kid from Lafayette, Louisiana became captain of the Olympic wrestling team and a 2-division UFC champion. The UFC and Fanatics original production is out on Wednesday on YouTube and everywhere you get your podcasts.
All right, last card before we
Welcome back into the studio. All right, Rob. Well, the heavyweights threw down on the main card. Take us through this one.
They did. Almeida was just having such trouble trying to get under the hips of Kuniev. You see, for such a big guy, Kuniev can move away like effortlessly. He almost floats. But Kuniev, honestly, the fight was won by pushing Almeida up against the fence. I don't think either guy is super happy with their performance. I think Almeida wanted the fight to go more to the ground. I think Kuniev wanted to work in that clinch range a little bit more. But ultimately, Kuniev got these hands raised, controlled the fight a little bit more. We started seeing the hands fly a little bit more in the third round. But it just wasn't enough output from both guys, honestly.
No, but I got to say this. I got to give Jailton Almeida some credit because he got out of his comfort zone, much like we expected this. We all kind of knew there's no way Jailton Almeida takes down Kuniev. I just think the hits are too strong, they're too powerful. He's going to be forced into a stand-up fight. I didn't think Almeida would have it within himself to go 15 minutes. But when he was forced to stand, he did throw some good combinations, so much so that Kuniev didn't like the stand-up from Almeida and pressed him against the fence. I mean, he lost almost on all the judges' scorecards all the way across the board. But there is a win in there that it's like, you made the striker uncomfortable with your striking, and you are the grappler. So for him, hit the drawing board, find a way to put the pieces together, and bounce back. But it looks like we're going to have a new guy in the top 10 in Rizwan Kuniev.
I was just going to say, no doubt he has a number next to his name come Monday. So we'll see how that plays out. He got the unanimous decision victory. But Anthony, let's talk about Jacoby. He got a big finish over Walker to kick off this main card. And it was kind of a questionable stoppage as well.
Yeah, my good friend, Dustin Jacoby. This is kind of how I thought this was going to go. And unfortunately, this is probably how Julius Walker thought this was going to go. There's probably no surprise to him. I thought that Walker had a good first round. He did exactly what you should do with a guy like Dustin Jacoby. You got to take him down, or at least attempt to hold him up against the fence. Then we find our way here at the end. Julius Walker was hurt so badly, and some guys don't go completely unconscious or completely limp. They kind of get onto this autopilot thing. Dustin Jacoby tried to be a good former training partner and try to find his way out of that quickly, but I think the referee probably... Sometimes I'm so hard on the referees. I think this time he probably could have stepped in and saved Julius Walker 8 to 10 punches. Julius Walker will be back. It's a really tough fight. And a really tough fight when you already know what you're up against. He knows exactly what the likely response was going to be in that fight, or the likely result. It's hard to go in and fight a guy like Dustin Jacoby when he already has your number in the gym.
They've spent a lot of time in the training gym, as you said. But
enough,
whenever I see a guy like that, he's out, but his body's just moving a certain way, and the ref just doesn't see that for some reason. I always get that image of if he dies, he dies.
It makes me want to save him. Come on, man. Can we just go help him?
Everybody in their seat as well. But Jacoby just fought such a good fight. I think Walker was. You could almost see it in the way he was holding his hands up. He could see that Jacoby had his number. I felt like he knew what was going to happen anyway. And that hesitancy made him pay.
Well, that's the veteran versus the rookie. I mean, you got to remember, Julius Walker is only 26 years old, and this is Dustin Jacoby's second stint in the UFC. His best run. He's looked better. He's aging like fine wine, and you could tell that after that first round, Julius started to look a little bit uncomfortable. If you can't take Dustin Jacoby down, you are going to be stuck in a stand-up battle. And just like you said, look, the gym is different than the fight. I can say myself that there's a lot of people that have gotten the best of me in the gym that can sniff my jock on their best day under the lights. But sometimes that translates, and that's exactly what happened tonight. Everything Dustin Jacoby did in the gym happened tonight in the fight.
Well,
Julius will bounce back because he's a young
It was
guy.
a bit unfair to Julius, too.
Yeah.
He's very green. He's still learning. He's an incredible prospect. He's an incredible athlete. He's going to be very good.
Yeah.
He's just still learning, and he's kind of learning on the job. And then you get in there with a guy that's already spent a bunch of time with you and watched you learn for a little while, and he's seen the new skill sets that you've gained, and it wasn't that long ago. So it was a bit of an unfair situation for Julius Walker. So I want to give him a little bit of credit there for sure.
Well, we also have to give credit to Dustin Jacoby, who flew back from Sydney. He left Sydney, flew for 24 hours, landed here on Monday, and still got the job done with a second-round finish. And, guys, he was the oldest fighter on this card.
Yeah. Shout out to the 35 and over club, baby.
If you don't get Dustin Jacoby out of there, you're not getting him out of there.
No.
Like, that's just the sort of fighter he is. Like, when Walker couldn't get him out of there in the first round, like, that's just what was going to happen.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, Dustin Jacoby could have a number next to him. I mean, he is really, like, probably the best light heavyweight that doesn't have a number next to his name. So it's a big step up in competition for Julius Walker, but you guys know as well as I do, when you are a young fighter and you're 26 years old, and you take a lump like you did tonight, you are only going to come back better. So I expect Julius Walker is going to learn from this, and he's going to come back a better fighter.
Yeah, love to see it. Well, the fight that was immediately after that, Mike, was Farid Basharat. He is still undefeated. Tell me what impressed you the most in this match.
Man, the Bass Bros, man. The Bass Bros went 2-0 tonight. Listen, it's just the composure and the well-rounded game. You can just see, look at the way he's able to blend the stance changes in with his combinations, and he's able to match Matsumoto's pressure. Anytime Matsumoto would pressure with the striking, he would land little nice check punches, or he would crash with the elbows. And it was the movement as well. He just looked, it's the composure. You know, Gene Matsumoto's a very, very tough, well-rounded kid, has good wrestling, has good grappling, has good striking, and he had moments in this fight, and it was the composure of Basharat for him to navigate this fight, navigate getting taken out, having to get out of some disadvantageous positions and get himself back into the fight. It was a very close match, but it really boiled down to one word. Like I said, it's composure. He's just a very composed fighter with a very complete, well-rounded set of skills.
Definitely. And Matsumoto's like, I like to think of him as like a snowball. So he starts a little slow and he just builds up, builds up, builds up. As you start to wear out, hurt your hands a little bit, he just gets better and better. But the thing that really changed the level of this fight was the takedowns. The takedowns and the control time on the ground just didn't let. Every time that would happen, Matsumoto would lose a little bit of steam. He would lose his momentum. Then they'd get sent back up and they'd have to start all over again. And then he'd just shoot back under again. Yeah. And that was much of how the fight went out. It ended up being pretty close in that third round.
Yeah, I thought it was a really good fight. Basharat did a really good job when he was playing the long and rangy game. When they were at distance and space, Basharat was significantly better, was landing any shot he wanted to. Matsumoto had to get in there and make it a little bit ugly and try to get in those fiery exchanges in tight. Then he would try to wrestle a little bit. Basharat would get back to distance and space, and he would land the harder shots. I think that's really what it came down to. Basharat landed the harder shots from range. Matsumoto would close the distance a little bit by getting kind of nasty and dirty in those tighter ranges. I thought it was a really fun fight.
He was starting to snowball. If there were another two rounds.
Well, and to be fair, too, is if you look at the damage. I mean, Matsumoto had some moments with the striking, but Basharat does so good rolling with the punches. He never backs up on a straight line. He's always moving laterally, fights very well at range. So that's why, even though Matsumoto had moments on the feet, he didn't land as much as it might have looked like watching it on TV or watching it live, because it's that movement from Basharat and able to roll off those punches and not take damage was a big difference maker in this fight as well.
Well, Basharat improves to 15-0, and he is standing by with Mackenzie.
All right, let's get our bangers.
Thanks so much, you guys. Well, just an incredible display of heart and grit in that fight. How did this matchup play out compared to the way maybe you were expecting it to?
To be honest with you, I thought best case scenario it would be slightly different, more like round one, but I did, realistically speaking, I did envision it going like this if it wasn't a perfect night. Because I know what he's like. If you look at all of his fights, whether he fights a top 10 guy like Rob Font, or he fights someone starting out like a first couple fights like Dan Argueta, always in a back and forth split decision type fight. And he could have arguably beat, in my opinion, he arguably beat Rob Font, and he arguably, in my opinion, lost to Brad Katona too, who's not of that caliber, let's say. But yeah, he's just a tough, durable guy. He's always going to be in there. Whether, you know, whoever he's fighting, he's always going to be in the fight. And I tried my best to keep it like round one, but the cage was small in there, and he did a good job of just walking through my elbows, my knees, my punches. And I did know that if you really wanted to close the distance that much, you have to pay a price for it. And if you look at his face, he definitely paid a price.
You and I spoke this week about your desire to every chance you fight, to be undeniable. What were some of the areas tonight that you felt you were undeniable that you're most proud of?
Well, look, I've shown that I can dance around the ring and put a clinic on. I've shown that I could take someone down, pin them down, submit them. One thing, let's say, I hadn't shown was to have a back and forth strike, a back and forth tough, gritty fight in which I have to show heart, in which I have to show another gear. And I'm not saying I did that to prove a point, but there does come a point in your career where, look, I always say I'm not gonna start with my toughness, but if someone brings it out in me, I would love to show it. And Gian Matsumoto forced me to bring my toughness out, and I embraced it. And you saw, I won the.
Yeah. Okay.
I got the better of the exchanges, I would say, for sure.
Well, it was an incredible fight. Congratulations on staying undefeated. You also have the second longest active win streak in the bantamweight division. You and I talked about hopefully breaking into the rankings.
Who has Gamrot?
Maybe that should get you one step closer. Thank you so much for your time. Guys, we'll send it back to you.
Thanks so much, Mackenzie. That's right. 5 consecutive wins at 135, 6 overall in the UFC. Anthony, 15-0, undefeated. He's pretty honest about things in that interview. Do you expect him to have a number next to his name?
You guys let me know.
Well, he's definitely getting close. I think I think his skill set and his body of work up to this point shows that he should.